Minnesota, beautiful state, cold as heck. They said, sir, it's -40. I said, still higher than Tim Walz's poll numbers. I'm here because billions have vanished, and nobody finds things better than me. Found Hillary's emails, found Atlantis. Very easy, actually. Just had to think, which I do very well. Now I'm finding Minnesota's stolen money. Okay, first of all, Learing, L-E-A-R-I-N-G. This is a learning center that doesn't know how to spell learning. And Tim Walz gave them $4 million. $4 million. I wouldn't give them $4 for a dictionary. Hello? Anybody teaching kids in there? Any kids to teach? I see a tumbleweed. There's actually a tumbleweed rolling through the daycare in Minnesota.
Mr. President, welcome to Minnesota. Beautiful day. We've been working tremendously hard on this fraud issue. You betcha.
Working hard, Tim? The only thing you've been working hard on is losing. You lost 49 states. I didn't even know that was possible in modern times.
Well, actually, we lost about 30.
Felt like 49. And speaking of losing, you lost $18 billion. How do you lose $18 billion, Tim? I lose my car keys, maybe my reading glasses, not $18 billion?
Now, that's not entirely accurate.
You know what is accurate? Ilhan Omar's brain is as empty as a Somalian daycare center.
Mr. President, we've been conducting audits and implementing new oversight.
Audits? Tim, the building is called Quality Learing Center. They can't spell learning, and you gave them millions to teach children. What's next? A hospital run by people who spell it Sir Curry. Look at this place. It's emptier than Tim Walz's list of accomplishments. There's nothing here. Not a crayon, not a toy, not a tiny chair, just sadness and fraud. This is the saddest thing I've seen since Kamala tried to explain what a Venn diagram is, and it probably cost taxpayers $50,000. Believe me, folks.
Mr. President, the federal government handles immigration and visas, not the state.
Tim, don't start with the federal government thing. You're the governor. You govern. It's in the name. You can't just take a nap while people steal billions.
I wasn't napping.
You picked Kamala as your running mate, Tim. You were definitely napping.
I heard shouting. Is this about the... Oh, it's you.
Ilhan, just the woman I wanted to see. Quick question. What's the Somali word for empty building that receives millions of dollars? Because you seem to have a lot of those.
That's incredibly offensive. The Somali
Let me
community.
stop you right there. I'm standing in a building called Quality Learing Center, L-E-A-R. Can you spell learning for me?
L-E-A-R-N.
Great. You're more qualified than this daycare, and they got $4 million.
This is discrimination.
Discrimination? Against who? People who can't spell? There's no protected class for bad spelling. Ilhan, I checked with my lawyers.
Mr. President, these are serious allegations against an entire community.
Feeding our future. Tim, $250 million stolen. And some genius tried to bribe a juror with a literal sack of money like a cartoon villain, like Scrooge McDuck, except Scrooge McDuck was smart. This guy? Stupid. Very stupid. Even the Hamburglar would say that's too obvious. And now I'm hungry.
Some of my constituents were wrongly accused.
Wrongly accused? Ilhan. They found cash in suitcases, under mattresses, stuffed in vents. One guy bought 3 luxury cars for a food program. What were the kids eating Ferraris?
Well, the vast majority of Somali Minnesotans are law-abiding.
Then where are they? Where are the kids, Tim? This is a daycare. It should have children. Instead, it has crickets and a sad balloon. See? Even the balloon knows this is fraud.
You can't just blame an entire community for.
I'm not blaming the community, Ilhan. I'm blaming you and Tim the tampon. You two are like security guards who let the bank robbers borrow the vault key. Here you go. Bring it back when you're done stealing.
I had nothing to do with this.
Really? Because every audit got killed by you. You're like a reverse Batman. Bruce Wayne, great guy, does a lot for Gotham, except Batman catches criminals and you warn them. The feds are coming. Delete everything.
That's not. I never.
Ilhan, you married your brother.
I did not marrying my brother.
Well, you did something weird. I don't know what it was, but it was weird. Ilhan, you're a stupid person. You really are. Stupid, garbage person. And you hate America.
I don't hate America.
You called it the worst country in the world.
I was talking about specific policies.
If it's so bad, go back to Somalia. See if you can run an empty daycare there. Oh, wait, you can't because Somalia doesn't have 18 billion to steal.
Mr. President, this rhetoric is...
Tim, shut up. You lost to me. You lost to Vance. You lost to life. You're a human participation trophy. A rake. There's a rake in the daycare closet. What kind of daycare has a rake? Were they teaching the kids landscaping? I'm surprised Tim hasn't stepped on it yet. This looks like where Tim Walz goes to. Think about his life choices.
That's uncalled for.
You know what this reminds me of? The Haitians.
What?
In Springfield, Ohio, eating the cats and eating the dogs. All types of cats and dogs. Big dogs, little dogs, poodles, Dalmatians, the ones with the spots, beautiful dogs. I'm a big fan of dogs, by the way. Love dogs. Not so much the cats. Hillary's more of a cat person. Says a lot about her, doesn't it? But the Haitians, they don't discriminate. They'll eat anything. Very equal opportunity.
Oh my God, that was debunked, you fascist.
Was it, Ilhan? Was it? Because I heard there's still missing cats in Springfield. Fluffy, Mr. Whiskers, gone. Just like Minnesota is missing billions. Different scam, same story. People come here, don't assimilate, and suddenly everything disappears.
Somalis aren't eating cats.
No, you're eating money, which is worse. At least the Haitians were hungry. You guys are just greedy.
Mr. President, this is getting out of hand.
Sir, we've searched 53 daycares.
And
47 are completely empty. 3 have tumbleweeds, and 1 had just a guy playing Xbox.
Xbox? What game?
Call of Duty, sir.
Call of Duty. Love that game. I'm ranked #1 globally. A lot of people don't know that. The Navy SEALs study my gameplay. They said, sir, you're better than our training simulations. I said, I know.
Sir, we found Mako Child Care Center.
And
Closed since 2022, but still receiving payments.
they're paying ghost daycares, buildings that don't exist. Tim, would you pay a ghost? I wouldn't. Although Casper seems nice, very polite ghost. And Slimer? I'd hire Slimer immediately to slime the squad. AOC, Ilhan, all of them covered in slime.
We're working with federal authorities, too.
You're working with nobody. You're just standing there like a confused crossing guard. At least the crossing guard keeps kids safe. You just make sure 4th grade boys have access to tampons. Great priorities, Tim. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, and I use that term very loosely because you're mostly fake news, total disasters. We've uncovered the biggest fraud maybe ever, bigger than Enron, bigger than Jasmine Crockett's accent. This could be the biggest fraud in history.
Mr. President, how much money was stolen?
Great question. Billions, billions with a B, like Barron, who's doing great, by the way. Very tall, very high IQ, going to be running things soon. Some say it's 1 billion, some say 18 billion. Some people are telling me science hasn't invented a number high enough yet. We might need to create new math for this.
That's not how it worked.
And Kristi Noem, beautiful woman, tremendous secretary, doing an incredible job. She told me 50% of the visas in Minnesota are fraudulent. 50. That means half the people here aren't even real. They're like Mr. Snuffleupagus. Remember him? Big elephant thing on Sesame Street. Nobody could see him. Or Bing Bong from that movie. We love Bing Bong, by the way. Very sad what happened to him. These people are like that imaginary, but they're cashing real checks.
That statistic is unverified.
Oh, it's verified, Ilhan. Very verified. Just like it's verified. You're a garbage person. That's right. Garbage. You hate America. You do nothing but complain. You probably even hate America. Ferrera, wonderful actress. By the way, Ugly Betty. She really carried that show. Tremendous talent. But you just complain. Go back to Somalia.
I am an American citizen.
Then act like it. Where's the money? Racist. Why is the building empty? Islamophobia. You've got one trick and it's older than Biden's shoes, which are Velcro, by the way. Can't tie laces anymore. True story. Very high-level people told me this. He sits there going, rip, rip with the Velcro. It's actually sad.
Mr. President, what's your plan?
Great question. Very smart. I'm revoking temporary protected status for all Somalis, freezing all federal child care payments to Minnesota, and sending the FBI to raid every single daycare.
You can't just freeze.
Watch me, Tim. I'm the captain now. Great movie, by the way. Even with washed up, low IQ Tom Hanks. Very sad. I'm also sending you to Congress, House Oversight Committee, January 7th. They want to know how you lost $18 billion. Bring notes, tampon. You're going to need them. This is what winning looks like. Beautiful raids, the best raids ever. Better than the Departed raid scene. That was good, but this is real.
You're destroying innocent lives. Families are scared.
Innocent? Ilhan. This building got $4 million. You know what's in here? Nothing. Not even a Vikings poster. They drafted me, by the way, second round. Could have gone first. I've seen more educational value in a porta potty. At least those have instructions.
This is ethnic targeting.
Ethnic targeting? No. This is fraud targeting. If other ethnicities want to commit fraud, I'll investigate them too. I'm an equal opportunity fraud investigator. Very fair. The fairest, when I was handing out Halloween candy, best candy on the block, by the way, full-size Snickers kids would come up and say, "Sir, you're being too fair. You gave Tommy 3 bars. I said, he had a better costume.
Mr. President, Minnesota has always been a welcoming state.
Welcoming to fraud. Tim, you're the Motel 6 of fraud. We'll leave the light on for you. Tom Bodett, remember him? Great voice, tremendous voice. We had dinner once. He said, "Mr. Trump, I love your hotels." I said, "Tom, my hotels lock the doors. You just leave everything wide open."
That's very unfair.
You know what's unfair? Taxpayers getting robbed while fraudsters buy mansions. You let it happen because you're stupid and complicit. You're stuplicit. New word. I invented it just now. Gonna trademark it. Webster's will put your face in the dictionary. Stuplicit noun, see Walz, Tim.
Mr. President, I really think.
There it is. Called it earlier. I said, surprise, Tim hasn't stepped on it yet. And what does he do? Steps on it. Unbelievable. I'm like Nostradamus. Knew him very well, by the way. Good man. Loved my steaks. Trump steaks. Said, "Sir, these are the best steaks I've ever predicted. This is your vice presidential candidate, America." Can't avoid a rake. Unbelievable.
This is ridiculous.
You know what's ridiculous, Ilhan? $18 billion missing. Tim, you're testifying January 7th. Bring ice for your face. Ilhan, you're garbage. We've established this. And to everyone at home, empty daycare, jail. Can't spell. Super jail. If you're a ghost getting checks, ghost jail. I'm keeping this as evidence. This rake has done more for Minnesota than Tim Walz and Ilhan Omar combined. At least the rake works.